baby. Yes, baby. What? Yes, baby. So, hi. Hello. I know that this is December 30th, and we are getting ready to enter into a new year. So I just wanted to hop on as the last Thursday in December and share a few key tips. Hey, Miss Bubbles, to help all of us enter into a prosperous 2021. I'm Aisha. I'm a holistic life coach. I teach women how to release past emotional pain, boost their confidence, and I do this through teaching them holistic and spiritual tools without having to self-medicate or spend years in therapy. So tonight I just wanted to hop on and share 9 key tools. Hey, Miss Bubbles. Hey, 1KD Harvey. Hey, Fruit Warrior. And that's my son Amir in the background. Okay, I'll show you guys right here. Say hey, so you guys know I'm a mom. So, but this won't last long. Hey, the very first tip I wanted to talk about is embracing where you are to where you want to be. I know a lot of times we have these ideas about where we want to be in life, and because we're in this space of always wanting to hurry up and make progress and get somewhere and go forward, it's very, very challenging. Like right now, you know, I'm at home with my son, right? And it's very difficult sometimes to focus. It's difficult to create content, to shoot videos, but we have to begin to embrace where we are, no matter where we are in life. That energy of embracing where we are is going to help us release resistance. Resistance is one of the things that keeps us out of alignment with what it is we truly desire. So really learning how to embrace where we are, accept where we are, and be okay with where we are as we begin to expand into where we want to be. And what I mean by expanding into where we want to be is holding the vision of what it is that we really want. And as we hold the vision of what we want, we begin to put a game plan together to begin to put ourselves out in that space. So my son wants to come on and say hi. Say hi, Amir. Hi. Hey, okay. So the next tip I want to share with you guys is about discipline. A lot of us have goals that we want to reach. A lot of us have things that we want to accomplish. And discipline is the bridge that gets us from where we are to where we want to be. And oftentimes we find ourselves starting and stopping. And it's because we haven't yet learned how to discipline ourselves and also discipline our disappointments. I think one of the things that causes us a lot of trouble and a lot of setbacks is when we have setbacks, we don't know how to discipline our disappointments. So we can get stuck in a rut. We can get really down. We can get really down and out. And when we're down and out, sometimes it becomes very difficult to get back up and begin to go forward again. So one of the things that we want to do is learn how to discipline our disappointments. One of the best ways to discipline our disappointments is just to learn different mental cues. My son is actually trying to lift weights now in the background, so I'm sorry. But learning to have different mental cues that you can use when you have a setback. So for example, what that means is if you're somebody that you're an emotional eater, or when you have any type of situation that occurs that stresses you out, what do you usually do? Do you breathe? Do you go eat? Do you make phone calls? Learning how to have some type of mental cue so that you begin to shift into a different energy. Hey, the real Miss Jackson, it's good to see you. The next thing I want to talk about is, leave that alone, baby. Leave it alone. The next thing that I want to talk about is following your bliss. And what I mean by following your bliss is, Amir, give mommy a second, is really beginning to tap into your heart. You know, what is it that you really want to do? What is it that gives you the most joy? What is it that gives you the most happiness? And as you begin to tap into your heart and see what really feels good to you, hey, treasured, empowered, when you begin to tap into your heart and see what really feels good to you, begin to go with the flow of that. A lot of times there's so many different things that we can do, right? There's a lot of different things that we can do with our lives. There's a lot of different opportunities out there, but we want to begin to tap within our spirit and in our heart to find out what gives us the most joy, what gives us the most satisfaction. The next thing I want to touch on is writing the vision and making it plain. So a lot of us, we have our vision boards, we have journals, we have all of these things. But after you write the vision and you make it plain, it's very important to learn how to internalize that vision. And one of the things that I like to teach my clients, and one of the things that I practice in the morning, is not just a practice of visualization, but the practice of envisioning. And envisioning uses guided meditation, it uses affirmations, it uses imagery, it uses words, it uses feeling, because that is what helps to emotionalize that vision so that it becomes a part of who you are. And you can begin to be led by that vision. Another tip that I think is very important is the word focus. Following one course until successful. So many of us have so many distractions going on. There's a lot of different things going on in life right now. If you're a mother, like for example, me, my son is in here playing with the weights and stuff like that. It's hard to be focused, you know, because sometimes we're being pulled in so many different directions. One of the things that will help us have success and have more prosperity in our lives is following one course until successful. So what is that one big idea that you have for your life and for next year? What is that one big goal? What is the one big thing you want to accomplish? And what is going to be the strategy that you use to achieve that? So Brendon Burchard gave a very good example in his book, High Performance Habits. He talks about something called a PQO, and it's our productive quality output. It's the one big idea that we have that we begin to break down into 5 buckets. And each of these buckets is a project in itself, but it has to be organized and it has to be sequential. Once you put this down 5 categories, you start with this category, that's you, baby, and you begin to focus 60% of your effort on one task. So for example, some of you guys may want to write there who want to write books, get enough speaking, start businesses. So we use the example of a book. If you want to write a book, the very first thing on your bucket list or your bucket task would be to actually write the book. And then you'll have to go through marketing and forming alliances and all of these other things. But the first thing would be to write the book. So as you go into a new year, think about that one major goal. We all want to have multiple income streams, right? We all want to have multiple things that we do. But think about the one goal that sets your soul on fire, the one thing that gives you the most life, the one thing that can open up so many other opportunities and so many more doors for you, and begin to focus on that. When I set my goals, I like to think about from the perspective of, if 2020 or 2021 is my last 12 months on earth, this is all the time I have left, what would be the things that I would want to accomplish and leave behind for my legacy? And I think when we kind of begin to shape our goals based upon that, we'll have more of a sense of urgency and we'll be able to prioritize those things. The other thing that I want to talk about, which is very important. Hey, Leandra. Hey, Treasures Empowered and Lola Love. The other thing I want to touch on really quickly is elevating our associations. So we all have friends, right, that we grew up with. We all have people that we know from college and this and that. But it's very important to begin to network and mastermind and reach out to other people who you admire and begin to seek out new relationships with people that are where you want to be. And I know that that's very scary because it puts us out of our comfort zone. We don't want to be rejected. We are comfortable kind of where we are, but the thing is, if we really do want to get to our next level, we should all have mentors in different areas of our lives, and we should all have people that we can go to that are ahead of us by a few steps. Just 1 second, son. So finding a few people, like make a list of people that you admire in the area of fitness, in the area of spirituality, in the area of wealth building, in the area of your career, even in the area of marriage or parenting. And begin to try to form alliances and begin to network with those people and see how you can begin to build those relationships. A really good book that I highly recommend that I'm actually going to revisit is called the How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that book is really powerful because it teaches you step-by-step strategies on how to approach networking and how to approach building authentic relationships. We don't want to build those relationships with the mindset of, oh, I need to get something out of this person and this person can help me get to the next level. It should be something that is mutually beneficial, you know, for both of you. And it should also be with the intention to really form a relationship because you really do admire that person and you would like to have that person be a part of your success circle. The last thing I want to touch on is, as we enter into a new year, is thinking about your wellness and your health. And everybody should have their own customized wellness plan. And what I mean by that is, like, wellness is something different for different people, and so it's just important to begin to look at your health and your wellness, not just from the standpoint of your physical body, but also your mental, spiritual, emotional, financial, your environment, your social, the way you serve. And so when we talk about creating your own custom wellness plan, one of the things you want to begin to do as you focus on being healthier and being happier and being wholer in 2021 is first with your mind. One of the things we want to begin to do is practice positive self-talk. Shad Hamster, I think is his name. He has a really great book called Positive Self-Talk. And it really helps people begin to learn how to speak positively to themselves and within themselves so that they can build themselves up from the inside out. Our positive self-talk is one of the keys to being successful and feeling good about ourselves. The other thing is doing a detox of some sort, a physical body detox. So you want to look into things like a parasite cleanse or a heavy metal cleanse, a kidney cleanse, a liver cleanse. You want to begin to look into eating more whole food, plant-based foods that are highly alkalizing to your body. So begin to seek that out. If you're interested in detoxing, let me know. I do have a detox specifically designed for that. The other one I want to touch on is spirituality, right? Sometimes people can be depressed, and one of the reasons why they're depressed is because they're not really fully in alignment with their purpose. And when we're not fully spiritually aligned with our purpose, one of the things that happens is that we begin to feel very disconnected from who we are and from God. So what is your purpose? Identifying your purpose and really getting to the root of why we're here. Oprah always talks about, like, finding out why you're born and getting about the business of doing it. So I think on the top of all of our lists, if it's not on top of some of yours and even some of your friends, just begin to have those conversations about purpose. Like, why are you here? And then begin to take action steps on fulfilling those soul calls that God put in your heart. What is it? What are your gifts and your talents? What are you really good at? And then find a way to serve those to other people. Find a way to share that with other people, because that can help you on a holistic level just begin to feel so good about who you are and open up a lot of opportunities and really help you get to your destiny. When we talk about our emotional well-being, one of the things that we want to look at is really paying close attention to what triggers us, and if we have experiences that are triggering us, that lets us know that there's still some inner healing work to do. One of the best ways to do inner healing work is practicing forgiveness. So you want to find ways to forgive other people. And I know that people talk about forgiveness, this and that, but forgiveness really is about shifting a perspective that you have about a situation and learning how to see it through a spiritual lens. So I would, encourage all of us to really make that list and say, well, who do I need to forgive? And one of the first people you need to forgive is yourself. You need to forgive yourself for the mistakes that you've made. You need to forgive yourself for, your past decisions. You need to forgive yourself for, whatever is happening in your life where you're still holding yourself in energetic bondage, and begin to seek new ways of doing that. If you need help with that, always send me a DM. My DMs are always open. There's a lot of different strategies that you can use to really begin to forgive yourself and other people. The other couple before we wrap up is making sure that your environment is healthy. And I don't just mean the products that you use in your home. I also just mean the energy in your home. Making sure that your home is clean, making sure you try to keep it organized, making sure the products you use are healthy, but also your family, making sure that they're getting the love and the attention that they deserve. If you have people in your environment that are not healthy for you, you want to begin to reassess those relationships. And you may need to make some decisions about, going in different directions, because it's so important who we have in our environment. Sometimes, you'll find that you can walk into an environment and you can feel the energy in the environment. And sometimes those energies actually attach themselves to us and we absorb that energy. So it's very important to learn how to cleanse yourself of that negative energy. The other thing I want to talk about briefly is just having a relationship with yourself, like really learning how to love yourself, really learning how to be your own best friend. And one of the main ways of doing that, Amir, Stop banging on the window, baby. Is to be kind and gentle to yourself. A lot of us beat ourselves up. We're self-critical. We have high standards for ourselves, and we're not really practicing self-love authentically. One of the ways you'll know if you're not practicing it is if you're living in fear, if you're living in doubt, if you're self-sabotaging yourself, if you're telling yourself you're going to do something and then you don't follow through. So some of those are key indicators. So you want to begin to keep your commitment, keep your word. A really great book is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And that book has been really impactful for me. The last one I want to talk about is just being in service, finding ways to serve. How can you serve in your community? What are some things that you can do to make your community better, to make the world better, even to make your home life better? And so those are just some of the tips that I wanted to come on and share. I didn't want to stay on too long. I know this is New Year's Eve, but I did want to come on and just try to share some value and some inspiration. I really am praying to God for all of blessings for all of us, for insight, for clarity, to really become the men and women that God is calling us to be. I'd love to take a few questions if you guys have any questions. If not, I'm going to hop off. Let's see here. Treasured Star Empowered says, that's what I mean. How can I stay away from those? Amir, just a second. How can I stay away from those companies that I've known for years, but still hanging out even when I feel the need to really move in a different direction? The best way to sever ties with someone, or the best way to begin to move into a different direction, is one, I always recommend going into the spiritual, right? The very first thing you want to begin to do is assess, why am I still staying or allowing myself to stay in this situation? If you're allowing yourself to stay in that situation, that person is still in vibrational harmony with something within you that needs to be healed. So when you can get to that point within yourself where you're trying to assess, what is this person mirroring in me that has to change, or that I need to address, or that I need to heal? Once you get that lesson and begin to heal that, those people will automatically fall out of your life. You won't have to force them away. It'll be a natural progression and a natural flow to elevating into a different direction. So I would ask you to begin to look within and begin to assess the relationships. I was just talking last night on a call, and I always tell people, one of the things that you want to do is look at your life as a mirror. Every area of your life, your health, your relationships, your bank account, the relationship you have with yourself. Are you walking in your purpose? Look at everything as a mirror to what's going on inside of you. You know, if you're having financial struggle, if you're having health challenges, if you're having difficulty in relationships, that always is reflecting something in you that has to be healed and addressed. Okay. What was the name of the book again that you mentioned? So I mentioned a few books. So I don't know if you're referring to The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. That's a very great book. I hope that was what you were referring to. It's a very powerful book. It'll definitely help to expand your awareness around a lot of things and learn how not to take things so personal, because sometimes we could take things personal and we'll hold that energy in ourselves. And the more energy we hold in ourselves, the more we block the flow of positive energy to come into our lives. And I want you to really think about that, whether it's childhood trauma, whether it's a past relationship that you never got over or are bitter about or have a hard heart about, whether it's, food that you've been putting in your body, all of that is energy. So you want to make sure that you begin to cleanse those energies within your body. There's so many different healing tools. My son wants to say hi. Working with your chakras is one way, but it goes a lot deeper than just the chakras. So please let me know if y'all have any more questions. You're so welcome. I hope that you guys enjoyed this live. Please connect with me if you guys have any questions around holistic health or wellness, or want to develop your own customized healing plan. Or even look deeper into some of the emotional and subconscious blockages that you have that you just can't seem to break away from. You feel stuck. I could definitely help you guys with that. So just send me a DM and we can go from there. I wish you guys a very prosperous, healthy, and happy 2021. And let's stay in touch and stay connected. I'm sending you guys love and light, and have a happy new year. Oh, you're so welcome, Lola Love. Hey, Arthur, you guys are so welcome. You guys take care. Say bye-bye, Amir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, guys. All right, babes. You want to say bye-bye to people on Facebook? No, he doesn't. Y'all have a good night. Happy New Year.